welcome back. In this segment, we will focus on managing type 2 diabetes as it is more prevalent and accounts for 90 to 95% of the diabetic cases. As mentioned, diabetes type 2 happens for two reasons. One, our body cells become resistant to insulin. This means that the key does not work. Or number two, our pancreas does not make enough insulin. This means there aren't enough keys to unlock the cell. In both cases, glucose cannot enter our body cells, and instead it starts to build up in the bloodstream, resulting in an uncontrolled blood sugar spike. Over time, constant high blood glucose levels can damage the blood vessels and even some of our organs. So it's important for people with diabetes to control their blood glucose levels and keep them at healthy levels. In order to manage healthy blood sugar, we have to understand the effects of the food that we are eating. In this segment, we will explore several ways to manage diabetes. If you have been recently diagnosed with diabetes, prediabetes, or if you have been told that you have insulin resistance, you might be wondering if there is a cure for diabetes. The simple answer is yes. Why are there so many diabetics then? And why are so many people falling into this disease and with complications? Arne Astrup, a professor and head of the Department of Nutrition, Exercise and Sports at the University of Copenhagen, summarizes it this way. I would say that we actually have a cure for diabetes. There might be people who disagree with me. We have the cure, now we just need all the people to take the pill. And the pill is eating the right diet and exercise. According to experts, if you are normal weight and you're eating healthy and you're doing exercises, it is very rare to see type 2 diabetes. Diabetes type 2 is preventable. According to Torben Hansen, a deputy director of education at the University of Copenhagen, there are a couple of subtypes of diabetes type 2 in which cases the disease might not be preventable and patients will require specific treatment, and those account for about 2% of all diabetic cases. Having the cure for diabetes seems too good to be true in the sense that by the cure, the research means that people can reverse type 2 diabetes through healthy eating, exercise, and thereby go off medication. But still, they must follow a lifestyle program for the rest of their lives. If, however, you have encountered multiple complications or other conditions caused by diabetes, it might not be reversible, but you could still manage it and keep the blood sugar under control. What if I take my prescribed medication and insulin shots? Isn't that enough, you might ask? It is very important that you follow doctor's orders, but your prescribed medication's purpose is to help control blood sugar. It doesn't cure or reverse the disease and does not prevent complications, which is why you need to take extra steps and take care of yourself. Now let's look at some ways to help you manage diabetes. Counting carbohydrates is a crucial step of successfully managing diabetes. We're going to explore that topic in the next segment. Now let's look at some simple initial steps you can take to help you get started with managing your condition. First, keep your blood sugar within your goal range. That requires checking your blood sugar, knowing how to lower your blood sugar, and understanding what the numbers mean. Second, take your medication as prescribed by your doctor, even if you feel like you don't need them because everything seems to feel okay. Number 3, it's exercise. Get regular physical activity. It will help you get some of that blood sugar out of your bloodstream. If you're not someone who is very active and you don't particularly enjoy physical activity, the easiest way to start is to think of activities you enjoy. If it is dancing, do it. If it is walking, do it. If it is riding a bike, do it. Do something that helps you move and something that you like every single day. Your body will thank you for it. The more you do it, the easier it will get. And last but not least, keep a healthy diet. We will be focusing our attention on appropriate diabetic diet over the next few segments. We will also learn how to count carbohydrates and create well-balanced meals. Now let's take a brief look at the components of a healthy diet. We often hear the phrase clean eating or healthy diet, but what is a healthy diet? Although there is a lot of controversy over the question, what the perfect diet is, we can summarize the definition to this. A healthy diet is about making good nutrition choices most of the time. It is what we do on a day-to-day basis that affects our health the most, not the occasional treat or splurge. If we ask the question, what is the best diet, we will find many controversies and a lot of contradicting information. Nutrition can be confusing, especially for someone who is unfamiliar with it. The guidelines keep changing. We have been advised to eat low fat and avoid fat. Then we were advised to reduce carbs. Then we were advised to increase fiber. You might find it difficult to find that balance. Discussions about diet can have many views and opinions. To narrow down the appropriate diet and lifestyle changes for diabetes type 2, let's start with the consensus. Here are some facts we could all agree on. Number 1. You should reduce added sugars. Added sugars are listed on the nutrition label right under total carbohydrates. Let's take a soda bottle for example. One standard serving size soda could contain about 55 grams of added sugar, which is too much for men, women, and children. So in this case, we could all agree that added sugars cause many health problems, among which are diabetes and obesity. Number 2. Another fact we could agree on is we should reduce the refined grains in our diet. Refined grains are things like white rice, white pasta, white bread, cookies, donuts, muffins, and other pastries. These are grains that have been stripped of their nutrients. They don't contain the fiber that we need. The recommendation here is to choose whole grains instead. These are things like whole grain breads, brown rice, oats, oat groats, barley, rye, whole wheat pastas, and many others. Number 3. We could all agree that vegetables have many beneficial nutrients and vitamins. Therefore, the recommendation here is to increase the intake of non-starchy vegetables. The more colorful, the better. Number 4. Eating whole foods and less processed foods is another suggestion we could agree on. Whole foods are the ones that have been through no processing or minimal processing. They are the closest to their natural form, and those are things that your grandparents would be able to recognize and pronounce. Processed foods, on the other hand, have been stripped in their nutrients. In the processing, the water and fiber are taken out, and fat, salt, or sugar may be added instead. In simple words, whole food is nothing bad added and nothing good taken out. Whole foods are generally less caloric and much more nutritious. Number 5. We could agree on the fact that drinking a fruit smoothie takes much less time than eating the fruit whole. Fruit smoothies themselves are not harmful to diabetics, but you will have to drink them much more slowly. Go one step further and take the fruits and eat them whole. When we drink a smoothie versus eating the fruit, our blood sugar rises quicker and we are hungry sooner since the blender has done the breaking down of the food for us. The advice here would be, if you choose to drink a fruit smoothie, take your time and be careful what you put in it. It might add up to more calories than you would otherwise consume as whole foods. A big question is, if I have diabetes, should I completely avoid carbohydrates? We advise that you moderate and keep track of your carbohydrate intake, but it is nearly impossible and not recommended to avoid them completely. Our food is made of a combination of 3 macronutrients: fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. Most foods are a combination of all 3 plus vitamins, minerals, and water, so it is nearly impossible to avoid or eliminate carbohydrates completely. There are extremely low-carb diets that have stirred up a lot of controversy. They advise us to nearly eliminate carbohydrates, but that will leave you with a diet that is rich in animal protein but also very high in fat. You would end up consuming a lot of saturated fats and cholesterol, which will put your heart health at risk. The most popular question that diabetics ask their nutritionists, dietitians, or doctors is, what foods do I need to eat to reverse diabetes? As we mentioned, diabetes is preventable, manageable, and in some cases even reversible. Dr. Neil Barnard, the founder of the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, one of the fathers of the plant-based movement, clinical researcher, and author, advises us this: some of the best foods to eat to reverse diabetes are fruits, whole grains, beans, vegetables, and throw away the animal products completely. Keep the oils and fats very low. Over time, the fat from the cells will dissipate. The cells can then take the blood sugar out of the blood, and what happens is diabetes improves, and in some cases it even goes away. What you will discover if these are the foods that you are eating is you don't really need to count carbohydrates. You will most likely end up with about 10% of your food as fat. Another 10 to 15% will come from protein. The rest will be carbohydrates. The percentage may sound like a lot, but in this case, we are talking about good, complex carbohydrates that fuel your body for your activity. If you eat this way, you don't need to count. Nature will take care of it. Here are some steps you can take to adopt a healthier diet. Number 1. Choose healthy fats such as avocados, nuts, seeds, olives, or olive oil. Number 2. Avoid fried foods and opt for baked, boiled, grilled, or steamed options. Number 3. Choose lean protein, preferably more plant-based. You can select tofu, tempeh, chicken, or fish, and try to avoid beef, pork, and other meats that are too high in saturated fats and cholesterol. Number 4. Eat more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Number 5. Limit the amount of salt in your diet. Too much sodium might affect your blood pressure. Number 6. Learn how to portion your foods, especially carbohydrates. Number 7. Try to eat around the same time every day. Number 8. Don't skip meals. What happens when you skip a meal? When we skip a meal, we usually get hungrier later and tend to overeat. We run out of gas and feel tired. Skipping meals can actually increase your blood sugar levels. If your body doesn't get a regular supply of energy from food, your liver may panic and start releasing glucose into your bloodstream. This can also happen if you don't have any carbs in your meal. Number 9. Stay off the blood sugar roller coaster by eating 3 meals per day around the same time every day. Number 10. If your blood sugar is normal and you don't feel hungry, there is no need for an extra snack. These were some of the most effective ways to manage your blood sugar. In the next segment, we will learn how to count carbohydrates and how to put together a well-balanced meal. Until the next time, take care, mahalo, and aloha.